Okay, live from the new captain's chair. It's Monday, so we're going to talk a little NXT and Smackdown. So I'm trying something new for the wrestling recaps. Now I'm sure you guys love it when I go, nah, I'm trying my best to stay away from that. I've elevated the iPod so it's shooting downward, and I actually have my notes. I feel like a conductor because it kind of reminds me of what it would be looking like if you are trying to read music. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to see if this works. And obviously, since I don't edit, you'll see me flip pages, so the notes are down here. Not the description bar, obviously that's lower down. But yeah, it's down here too, but still. Let's talk about NXT from this week, shall we? We're on the road to NXT TakeOver, the TakeOver event that will be taking place at Full Sail University on December 11th. The sole purpose, I am staying an extra day and paying an extra day's airfare in order just to be there in attendance for the night that I believe Sami Zayn finally wins the big one. So we started off the show with Finn Balor coming out. And he basically said he was the future. That's all. Period, end of sentence. That's all he pretty much had to say. Tyson Kidd comes out with Natalya, looking really attractive, as always. And Tyson wants to cut him off and says, you know what? Nobody cares. Fact. And the Hearts, when you are a Heart, you are taught respect from day one. And you lack that respect. See, Justin Gabriel comes out, of course, because Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel have a past. They were used to be known as the International Airstrike. And obviously Gabriel comes out and he says, you know what, every international superstar that arrives here that has a cool entrance and cool entrance music, they think that they can be a top guy. Well, you know what, in order to become a top guy, you have to get through us first. So they hit the ring. And here comes Hideo Itami. So, airstrike powder, and all of a sudden you see the referee talking to the ring announcer, and sure enough, it has made an announcement officially because William Regal was watching a monitor in the back. He used his power of being the man in charge of NXT and made this a tag team match. So this would be our opening match on NXT this week. It is Finn Balor and Hideo Itami against the International Airstrike of Justin Gabriel and his tag team partner, Tyson Kidd. Let's talk about the match, shall we? Hideo's got a chin lock on Gabriel. Gabriel tries to fight out, and Itami ends up cutting him off with a knee lift. They're kind of working heel right there, at least in that spot. Obviously, they're baby faces, everyone knows this, but they're working somewhat heel here. Snapmare, kick to the spine, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. Tagged into Finn Balor, he comes in and vicious chop in the corner, whips him in, it gets reversed, Gabriel charges in, and Balor leaps over the top rope as Gabriel puts on the brakes and doesn't go crashing into the buckle. And this allows for Balor to Yakuza kick Tyson Kidd on the ring apron, knock him off, and then in turn Justin Gabriel drop kicks Finn Balor off the ring apron, knocking him to the floor. It was a nice little sequence there. Gabriel tags Kidd in. Hits a reverse neck breaker on the floor. Kidd rolls in, tags in Justin Gabriel. Gabriel comes out to try to take advantage. He backs Balor against the ring apron, and he gives him a vicious chop. Tosses him in, makes a cover, Balor kicks out at 1. So, he cuts off the tag attempt. A full Nelson is countered into a Justin Gabriel snapmare. Straight up kick to the spine, tag back into Tyson Kidd, and Kidd comes in with a stiff kick to the chest combined with a Justin Gabriel kick to the spine, so they both connected at the same time to opposite ends of the body, and that got a 2 count right there. So, repeated forearms and clubs to the back from Tyson Kidd. He's really beating him down in the corner. So, what does he do on top of this? Well, he decides Finn Balor's in severe trouble here. Gabriel starts choking him behind the referee's back. It's just momentary, though. No big deal. And when the referee turns back around, Tyson Kidd goes for the choke with the foot choke, like basically putting him halfway out of the ring. Snapmare, chin lock, and he elbows out. So Kidd goes for a front face lock, and he backs Balor into their corner. Justin Gabriel tags in and snap suplex into a double underhook lock. Basically like a butterfly lock, pretty much. Kind of a version of it. Gabriel cuts him off with a knee, tags in Tyson Kidd, and 3 big forearms, cuts him off, spinning back kick. Ducks the clothesline, Balor with a Pele kick to Kidd. Finally, tag in Hideo Itami. He comes in, 3 round kicks, whip off the ropes, straight kick 1-2, and a kick out. Charges in, and Tyson Kidd gets the boots up. So he tags in Gabriel. And he goes for the springboard. Hideo counters with a gutbuster, 1-2, and a kick out. Kick out just as Tyson Kidd made the save. So basically, Tyson Kidd makes the save. So Tyson's kick is caught by Itami. Itami nails him with a dragon screw leg whip. And tags in Finn Balor. The leaping kick to the back of Kidd's head, which is interesting because that's funny because that's what Tyson Kidd does to people, so turnabout is fair play. They hit the crisscross hesitation drop kick onto Kidd and Gabriel in opposite corners. Balor goes up top, diving double foot stomp, 1-2-3, and Finn Balor and Hideo Itami win this opening contest on NXT. I really enjoyed this match. Great showcase of the skills of these 4 competitors, and a great showcase of skills for the first time we see Itami and Balor as a tag team in NXT. Obviously, the end game here is a battle against the Ascension, and that's coming up at TakeOver. So, once that happens, obviously you have to build up this new team, and a great way to build them up was give them a showcase match. This match was a showcase match. It wasn't just so they could necessarily show what they could do. They could show that they can dish it out as well as they can take it. It was a really great back and forth match, a great tag team match, and one of the better matches I actually watched on both programs this week. So, up next we get the return of Alexa Bliss. Gone is the really awesome theme music she used to have, which is not cool because her theme music was great. And, of course, she's taking on the boss, Sasha Banks. She has Becky Lynch in her corner. Sasha, of course, setting up for a challenge again for her former BFF partner, Charlotte, in the NXT Women's Championship, also coming up at TakeOver. So, at one point in this match, Bliss gets literally slapped in the face. So hard that apparently she gets busted open. But that's just what I'm hearing. Now, obviously, I could have had friends at this, but I didn't. So, I would state right now that I can't tell you exactly how bad Alexa Bliss was busted open, because obviously it was edited out for television. Excuse me. But I will state that you could see in parts of the match, like some of the blood obviously didn't get edited out, like the finish of the match, like the blood wasn't edited out. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So she slams her face first into the canvas. Sasha Banks locks on a bow and arrow, bends her right in half, kind of like an accordion, and a really nice counter from Alexa, and she rolls on top for the 2 count. So she counters the bow and arrow into a lateral press. Nice, don't see that very often. So she starts working away. This must have been after she got busted open. So forearm gets shoved off. Duck Sasha's clothesline, satellite head scissors take over, and she doesn't go for the Pixie Hollow. No, it's just a satellite head scissors. Charges in, and she springboards off the bottom rope. Floats over into a tip-up into a sunset bomb. Basically what it was. I'll explain what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it was. So she charges in. And Bliss with a tip-up. Of course, the tip-up into the sunset flip. But not a sunset flip, more of like a Code Red style sunset flip. So we're going to call this Code Blue. She gets a 2 count off of that. And a clothesline. Sasha stops her momentum with a drop kick. Nails the backstabbing bank statement. And that's the end of the match. After the match is over, Sasha basically makes a formal challenge to Charlotte and the Women's Championship. Sasha Banks has improved exponentially ever since first starting out in NXT. Sasha's actually the real deal, and I think that she's going to be a great leader of the division once they bring Charlotte up to the main roster. So I'm really interested to see where we go with this. The match at TakeOver should be really good, so I'm hoping that something good comes out of that. And if they put the title on Sasha Banks, which I think they probably will, she has proven competitors to go after her. Obviously, you have the matches against Bayley and Alexa Bliss, and you could do Emma if you really want to. There's a lot of different directions you could go. You can even bring Summer Rae in and have her work, and have Summer and Layla work against Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. I think that's a great idea if you want to really go that direction. But then again, Summer Rae and Layla are heels, but in NXT, obviously, all bets are off. So maybe, just maybe, they can do some sort of angle where Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch are running their mouth, and all of a sudden, here comes Summer Rae making her triumphant return to NXT, bringing Layla alongside her, and we do a tag match to build out of that. And I think that's actually a great direction to go, if they do go in that direction. So we get the NXT champion, Adrian Neville, in the back, and he's basically preparing for his match against Sami Zayn later this evening. He basically says he has nothing to worry about because the fact remains that Sami Zayn just can't win the big one. We'll see what happens later on. We got our next match. It is your current reigning and defending NXT Tag Team Champions, Kalisto and Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons, in a non-title match against Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, who are quickly becoming one of my favorite tag teams in NXT. Obviously, they're not the Vaudevillains, but I mean, they're my favorite tag team in NXT, but that's just me, I guess. Don't say it's because of Ryan Katz, and he's not there all the time. I guess most of the time, he's not there all the time. I guess it goes back to my old love for Hollywood Incorporated and XPW. Yes. Hi, my name is Owen, and I have watched XPW. Anyway, and I'm not just talking about the New Jack stuff, I've watched XPW. So, we pick this match up from the middle, and Blake with an armbar on Kalisto, and he drags him to the corner, and he locks on a surfboard. And then he does a surfboard into a chin lock, tags his partner in. Buddy Murphy comes off the middle buckle and basically drives the face of Kalisto into the canvas with his heels. It was basically like heels across, like this. Like heels across the ears and drives them face first into the canvas. It looks awesome, by the way. He got a 2 count off of that. Tags in Wesley Blake. Blake comes in, they go for a double whip, charges in, and Blake gets caught with a boot in the face. So Murphy ends up getting monkey flipped out of the corner into a sunset flip by Kalisto onto Blake and nails him with a kick. So Kalisto puts both boots in the face of Buddy Murphy, like basically flips him up and like kicks him right in the face. Kalisto finally tags in Sin Cara. He comes in, springboard, flying body press, knocks down both men. Kind of hit one, kind of awkwardly, the other one fell down like a domino. Springboard, 180 headbutt, and Blake ducks. Buddy with a clothesline, and there's a satellite head scissors from Sin Cara. Whip in, Blake reverses and gets caught with a handspring back elbow, 1-2, and a kick out. So he boots Sin Cara, and he whips him in, lift up Sin Cara over his head, and he tosses him off, and of course he's trying to hotshot him. But instead of that, he ends up knocking his partner off the ring apron. Straight kicks, he goes up top, and Kalisto with a corkscrew tope con hilo onto Buddy Murphy on the floor. In the ring, Sin Cara ducks Wesley Blake's clothesline, and Sin Cara with a roll-up into the side powerbomb, or the old Nova Sledge-O-Matic, and hits the Sin-Ton Bomb, and the Lucha Dragons win the tag team match. I like this match too. I like the chemistry that these two had in this match. I've never been a big supporter of the Sin Cara gimmick. Even when Mystico was doing it, I still wasn't a big fan of it. The Lucha Dragons team are fine. I really think that there's a golden opportunity that was missed. But that's alright, I guess you could say. I'd like to have Kalisto with a better partner, but Sin Cara comes in, he does what he does, and I have no issue with Unico at all. It's just, it's kind of like, yeah, it's like, it's basically being carried by one guy. Tag teams sometimes have that happen, and more often than not, that actually does happen. But still, it's one of those things, like me having to scratch my nose whenever I start filming. It's quite annoying. So yeah, Lucha Dragons, of course, set up to defend the NXT Tag Team Championships against the Vaudevillains at NXT TakeOver. So I'm going to guess we're going to see the Vaudevillains in action in one form or another next week. I don't know what that weird, reaction was, but there it is. So yeah, good match. Enjoyed the match. Blake and Murphy are a really good tag team. Very underrated. I really think that this team could work really well, and I really hope that they do something with them, honestly. The dubstep duo are really starting to grow in my mind as a credible tag team. And they started out as just two guys that they seemed like enhancement talent, and now they actually seem like they could be legitimate contenders down the line for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Main event time. NXT Championship on the line. The man that gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, defending against Sami Zayn. This match was awesome. So let's talk about it, shall we? So, there's a chin lock locked on by Neville. Sami fights up and gets pulled back down into the chin lock by Neville, so Neville cuts him off. Zayn tries to punch his way out, gets caught with a spinning back kick, and forearms to Sami Zayn while he's on his knees, trying to get up. Comes off the ropes, and Zayn forearms Neville, sends him down. So he comes off the ropes, Neville forearms Zayn, turnabout is fair play, comes off the ropes and gets caught with a clothesline, and then Zayn with another clothesline, and he clotheslines Neville over the top rope to the floor, nails him with a no-hands tope con hilo, and he tosses him in, goes up top, flying body press, and he gets caught by Neville with a straight punch right to the midsection, and he hits the standing shooting star press 1-2, and Zayn kicks out. So he hits a forearm, he goes for a pile driver, Zayn blocks it, countered in, goes for the palm chop, ducked in by Neville. Neville goes waist lock, elbow out of it, comes off the ropes, and a cartwheel. He lands on the shoulders, going for the spinning victory roll Rana, and gets countered. Sit-out powerbomb from the challenger, 1-2, and Neville kicks out. So Neville nails him with a spinning back kick, cuts off momentum. Round kick to Zayn. He ducks the second round kick, and he gets countered with a German suplex, and he rolls with it. The locomotion German suplexes. And in basically a nice tribute and shout out to the Chimera suplex, he hits two rolling Germans into the Tiger suplex 85, and 1, 2, and Neville kicks out. So he charges in, going for the haluva kick. Neville kicks him right in the face. So he charges in again. He goes for the exploder to Zayn. It gets countered, forward roll on the challenger, 1-2, and Sami Zayn kicks out. Round kick from Neville. He goes up top, going for the red arrow. Leaps off the top, no water in the pool. Use an adage there. And he hit his knee hard, and I mean hard. So he's down and out right now, clutching his knee. The referee's checking over on him. Zayn readies himself in the corner for the haluva kick, and the referee backs him off, puts the X sign up, and says this match is over. So he goes to check on him yet again, and Zayn shows some compassion for his friend. Obviously, Neville's not been treating him the greatest. He's been kind of treating him as an afterthought more than anything. But he's trying to show some compassion, and it ended up costing him everything. Zayn rolled up in a small package, 1, 2, 3. Adrian Neville retains the NXT Championship, and Sami Zayn is left sitting with his head in his hands, basically wondering what he has to do to let this road to redemption actually lead to anything but a dead end. So that was the end of the show, and I'll tell you right now, that was totally awesome. I really liked the way that match went over. I liked the way that it came off. I like the fact that we put over the fact once more that Adrian Neville will do anything, including fake an injury, in order to retain his championship. He'll do anything and everything to walk out NXT champion. And I'm really excited to see where we go from here. This should be really fun from this moment forward. This episode of NXT, really good. Spot-on edition of NXT. I love the opener. Great showcase of Finn Balor and Hideo Itami as a tag team, setting them up as credible opponents for the Ascension, who have been end-all world beaters in NXT, with the exception, of course, dropping the titles to the Lucha Dragons at TakeOver, but that's another story altogether. Other than that, the Ascension have been pretty much the monsters of the tag team division. And in order to build up a team to have any credibility to go after them, you have to give them a showcase of their abilities. And that's exactly what this match with Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd was. Tyson Kidd is getting a lot of television time. And I'm not talking NXT. I'm talking other things as well. We'll be talking about Tyson Kidd a little bit. He had one of the showcase matches of the week, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. I will say that the Alexa Bliss-Sasha Banks match built up quite well. I like Alexa Bliss. I like her babyface fire. I really like the gimmick. I think it works pretty well, especially being in Orlando. It works very well. But the Tinkerbell assumption not aside, I really think that she's really good in the ring, and I want to see more from her. Sasha Banks improves every single time I see her in the ring. She is really a superstar that I truly believe can be champion and will be champion in the very near future. Lucha Dragons had another great contest against Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. These two tore it up in a non-title match a couple weeks ago. Or it might have been more than a couple weeks ago. Obviously, my time frame is kind of like jumbled a little bit. But the main event, oh my god. Neville and Zayn, one of the best matches of the week without a doubt. These two have tremendous chemistry and just a spot-on finish. I love the fact that Neville decided to... I'm not saying fake an injury, because obviously he tweaked his knee, you can obviously tell, but he basically was allowing his opponent to think that he was a lot more hurt than he actually was, and he lured him in a false sense of security, able to roll him up for the 3 count and retain the championship. Really great addition of NXT. Very happy to be able to talk NXT, and very excited to be able to attend NXT in a couple of weeks. Let's talk SmackDown. This is one of those shows that, like, SmackDown's becoming okay, I care about half of the time, and the other half of the time I just don't. Chris Jericho comes out for the highlight reel, his special guest, Triple H and Stephanie. The reason that Jericho's highlight reel is on SmackDown is because it's what's best for business. And that's what the fans wanted. Triple H says he doesn't need anyone's acceptance. And he says to Chris Jericho, who's mocking him like every 5 seconds, obviously, as always, enjoy your fun, because when Survivor Series is over, we're going to be the ones that get the last laugh. And how about when you think about wanting to see the spotlight again, when you want to come back to WWE, maybe next time we will have erased you from history. Okay. Alright segment. It was Jericho, Triple H, and Stephanie. It was okay for what it was. Bray Wyatt basically squashed Sin Cara after the match. There was another promo. Bray basically says he can hear Dean Ambrose's screams inside his head and also inside his heart. He knows all the pain that Ambrose feels, all the Christmases that he wished his father would be there, and it doesn't have to be that way, though. See, he can embrace Bray, and Bray can be the man that can fix him. See, Ambrose comes out at this point. He gets in the ring. Bray bombs out to the floor, because obviously he doesn't want an altercation. He just wants to talk. So, Psycho just wants to talk. That's how it works. How do you level with someone who's just as crazy as you are? Just try to talk. I guess we'll see what happens with that. He calls Ambrose predictable. He basically says he's way too hostile for his own good. Whenever he wants to see Ambrose appear, all he has to do is press his buttons, and it works every single time. If Ambrose wants to fight, Bray will certainly fight him. And he'll actually be the stand-in for his father, who obviously Ambrose wants to fight in the first place. He wants to punish him, so in order to punish his father, he can take it out on Bray. That's basically what he's trying to say. So Bray gets in the ring, Ambrose gets one shot, Bray laughs, rolls out to the floor, and he says, I am the answer, I am the key, and I am the light, and Dean Ambrose, you don't have to be in the dark ever again. Very entertaining. Very entertaining stuff, as always. I like this program, and I think it's going to work really well. The only thing it really bothers me with is it gives me early on carpal tunnel, because I have to write so much on promos. But I'm trying to cut down a little bit as much as I could. Obviously, with some of the matches I can't. One specifically coming up in a minute, which is the reason why I have more than 2 pages of notes. Next up, we have a matchup between the current reigning and defending WWE Tag Team Champions, Goldust and Stardust, and they're taking on Adam Rose and the Bunny. So, apparently, this match is real short. Like, super short. So, at one point, the Bunny is actually up top, going to go for his big bunny hop splash, and Adam Rose is, like, begging for the tag. So, he goes for the bunny hop splash. Stardust gets the knees up, hits Dark Matter, 1, 2, 3. Match over, Adam Rose lays out the Bunny with a party foul, and parties with the Rosebuds anyway. So yes, they made the tag team titles and the tag team champions an afterthought in the feud between Adam Rose and the Bunny. Who is the Bunny? Well, there's a lot of rumors who the Bunny could be. The Bunny has been Justin Gabriel before. The Bunny has been Zack Ryder before. At this point, I think that the Bunny may end up being Fandango. I really do. I think it's a good possibility it actually might happen. And Fandango needs a freshen up on his gimmick right now, so he went on record saying something new was coming, so maybe this is it. Maybe he's going to be the Bunny, and he's going to feud with Adam Rose, because Adam Rose's theme music is what killed Fandangoing. So yeah. Basically, Adam Rose's theme music took over in the eyes of the internet fans as the theme music that you wanted to hear versus the Fandango theme, which is what everybody wanted to hear back in the day. So it would make sense if we go that direction. Fandango is a babyface. Hopefully, if it's the truth, it's the real, he is the Bunny. If that happens, a short feud with Adam Rose, and then maybe, just maybe, giving him a push up the card as a babyface. I think that might be fun. But if he's not the Bunny, I don't know if they were also talking Darren Young to be the Bunny, but that connection to Titus O'Neil went bye-bye a while back. So unless they start that up again, which I don't think they will, they're going to have to do something else. So we'll see where that goes from here. So the funny thing is the Rosebuds, even after they watched the gasped of what happened when the party foul laid out the Bunny, they still danced back with Adam Rose because they're drones. Dolph's in the back. He basically says if he loses tonight, he's going to lose fighting. He's a survivor, and if his team could win a Survivor Series, the Authority are done. Nice promo package on Ryback, and it basically ends with a promo from Ryback basically saying that he's on his own team, and Kane is the one that's going to have to worry about whether he can survive tonight. So Kane and Ryback's the main. Yeah. But we get this next match to make up for it. Intercontinental title on the line. This is a legitimate three-way dance, not a triple threat match. This is a three-way dance, which ECW rules state three-way dance is elimination rules. So this is a three-way dance for the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler defending against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Yes, Tyson Kidd is actually getting a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Don't forget, on Raw, even though it was a count-out victory, he still defeated Sheamus, who is the United States Champion, or at least was at the time, before he dropped the title to Rusev that same night. But still, this actually sets up a really awesome match, so let's talk about it, shall we? I waited until the first commercial break, and I found out there was more than one. I was like, oh my god, they're going to give this match almost 20 minutes. And they did, and it was excellent. Tyson Kidd's still rocking the kitty kick pads, the favorite of Noelle Foley. And I really like his meow moxie there, because he likes his cat Gizmo. So yeah, puts the cat on his kick pads. Alright, sure, kitty kick pads. Meow meow for the win. So, let's talk about midway through the match. Cesaro set up for a double suplex by Tyson and Dolph. Cesaro blocks it, and he uses his tremendous strength advantage over both men combined and snap suplexes both of them. Makes a cover on Dolph, 1-2 and a kick out, floats over, makes a cover on Tyson, and that doesn't work. Double underhook on Dolph. Going for the double underhook powerbomb. Dolph up on the shoulders, he starts punching away at the top of the head. He goes for a Rana, it gets blocked, Cesaro muscles him up again, and this time, Tyson Kidd hits the superstar elbow off the top. Cesaro with the gut-wrench side salto on Tyson. Cesaro makes a cover on Dolph, 1-2, Dolph kicks out. So he stomps Tyson down, and he charges into Dolph. Dolph Rob Petries him, which means sidestep if you haven't been paying attention to Pop before. He goes shoulder first in the ring post. Dolph takes the moment, hits the name dropper on Tyson Kidd. 1-2, Tyson kicks out. Dolph charges in, and Cesaro catches him and crotches him on the top turnbuckle. So, he climbs up, he goes for a backdrop superplex, and he ends up getting punched off by Dolph. This time, Tyson charges in with a shotgun dropkick, sends Cesaro back into Dolph, which inadvertently ties Dolph into the Tree of Woe. So, Tyson charges in, ducks Cesaro's clothesline, and hesitation dropkick on Ziggler while he's tied up to the Tree of Woe in the corner. Cesaro suplexes Tyson, kind of a Northern Lights throw basically is what it was. Charges in, Swiss uppercut to Tyson Kidd in the corner, 1-2, Tyson kicks out. So Tyson punches Cesaro off, basically just like a momentary shot, just to stun him momentarily. So this allows for a flying body press off the top from Ziggler, 1-2, and a kick out. So Dolph charging splash in the corner on Cesaro, and then he charging splash in the corner on Tyson Kidd, and he hits Kidd with a reverse neck breaker, and before he's able to execute it, Cesaro comes in, eats the boot, and gets front face lock, reverse neck breaker, DDT combo, makes the cover on Tyson Kidd, 1-2, Tyson kicks out, and he covered on Cesaro, got a kick out there at 2. So he whips him in. He ducks his head, gets straight kick to the chest, and Tyson Kidd with a swing neck breaker. So he makes a cover on Dolph, 1-2, and Dolph kicks out. Tyson heads up top, Cesaro Swiss uppercut, and a right hand, straight right hand. Climbs up top going for a superplex, gets blocked. Tyson Kidd punches away, Dolph gets on the ring apron, climbs up the top rope, and Tyson manages to do a sunset bomb onto Cesaro while Cesaro is superplexing Dolph Ziggler at the same time. Tower of Doom spot. Tyson makes a cover on Cesaro, 1-2, and a kick out. So Tyson locks the sharpshooter on Cesaro. And Cesaro is basically crawling on his fists at this point to make a cover on Dolph while still locked in the sharpshooter. Haven't seen that before. Dolph kicks out at 2. Sharpshooter is dragged to the center of the ring. Tyson sits back. Cesaro presses up, and his leg strength send Tyson through the ropes to the floor. Dolph goes for the exclamation point DDT. It gets countered by Cesaro, pop-up, Swiss Death, and of course, he got a 2 count off of it. Tyson goes for the springboard, gets caught, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Cesaro, and he gets a 2 off of that. Makes a cover on Ziggler, gets a 2 off of that. So we come back from commercial break, back to live action. Tyson goes for the flying guillotine, and when he connects on Cesaro, he lands on the knees of Dolph Ziggler. Really nice, by the way. So, Tyson double-legs Ziggler. He goes for the sharpshooter, and while the sharpshooter is locked on, Cesaro locks in a crippler crossface. I call it like I see it, folks. So, Tyson breaks the hold and starts well-placed stomping the daylights out of Cesaro. He goes for the sharpshooter, gets countered, giant swing. So Cesaro swings Tyson. Tyson Kidd's in serious trouble. Cesaro looks like he's going to finally take one competitor out of this match. Well, Dolph goes for the exclamation point DDT. He connects. Cesaro kicks out at 2. So then we get to some interesting stuff here. He goes for the name dropper. Countered into a powerbomb, of course. So he drops him back trying to hot shot him. And instead of the hot shot, he catches the high kick from the ring apron from Tyson Kidd. This leads to Cesaro's German suplex. 1-2, Dolph kicks out. So Cesaro, rams into Tyson Kidd, knocks him off the ring apron, trying to completely take him out of the equation. He catches the satellite head scissors takeover. Into the zigzag. Tyson gets in the ring, the opportunist he is, and tosses Ziggler to the floor, steals the pin, eliminates Cesaro. So Tyson Kidd has pinned Cesaro and eliminated him from the three-way dance. Tyson hits a baseball slide head scissors, sending Dolph Ziggler into the ring steps. And then he sends him into the ring apron, the barricade. On the barricade, he climbs up top and does that running punt kick to the face. He does it off the ring apron normally, but this time he did it off the barricade rail. The barricade rail is what I was trying to say there. Tosses him in, 1-2, Dolph kicks out. Knee choke on the bottom rope. He's got to wonder what he has to do. Goes for the slingshot leg drop, gets countered, roll up from Dolph, 1-2, and a kick out. A boot in, he goes for the stampede swing, and it gets countered, going for the zigzag, gets swatted off, and stampede swing connects, 1-2, and Dolph kicks out. Tyson goes for the springboard. Springboard countered, super kick, 1-2, and Tyson again kicks out. What does Dolph have to do to put his challenger away? So, Dolph tries to pick him up like he's dead weight. At this point, Tyson's playing possum. He back kicks him in the top of the head, double leg, goes for the sharpshooter. Dolph counters, flips him off, hits the zigzag, 1-2-3, and retains the Intercontinental Championship. This match was awesome in every way possible. And I really enjoyed the chemistry these three had in the ring. I will say right now, I usually give a lot of flack to SmackDown for doing matches that we later see on Raw. If we get this match on Raw tonight, I would not be one bit unhappy about it. If you give it 20 minutes and let it go, 2 commercial breaks, and then the finish, I would totally be completely happy with it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could happen on Raw. Obviously, we have a lot of things that are going to be going down tonight. Grumpy Cat's in the building, and it's going to make Tyson Kidd really happy. But the thing about it is, you also have to look at the fact that this is the road to Survivor Series. Still have a couple of weeks till Survivor Series, trying to flesh out the card. Who's going to end up with the Authority? Who's going to end up on the final member of John Cena's team? There's a lot of questions to be answered. And obviously you have titles to be defended too. So who knows where we're going to go in the road to a Survivor Series as it makes a stop in Roanoke. Wrong Roanoke. Roanoke, Virginia tonight for Raw in WCW country. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with WCW grown talent in the building tonight. I really enjoyed this match for what it was. Awesome contest between these three superstars. I really hope this is like a rebirth of Cesaro, and I hope this ends up being something big for Cesaro down the line. It may just be a drop in the bucket. I really want to see them do something with Cesaro. It's a golden opportunity to do something with him. They really did a great program with him and Sami Zayn in NXT, and when Sami Zayn does get brought up to the main roster, I do think that ends up being a case somewhere down the line. You know what I'd really like to see? It'd be awesome if Cesaro would stand up for Sami Zayn. Like, say Sami Zayn is getting beaten down by the wrestler formerly known as Kevin Steen. And Steen's just beating the daylights out of him, hit the package pile driver, lays him out and everything. And then all of a sudden, here comes Cesaro to make the save for his rival. And they shake hands, and they have a common bond to rid NXT of Kevin Steen. And I think that would be awesome. But I don't know if they'll go that direction or not. But if it gets me Kevin Steen and Cesaro in NXT, I will be a very, very happy guy. Up next, we had Layla against Natalya. This match was short. Summer Rae sighting. I was happy about that. So at one point, Summer Rae ends up laughing in the face of Natalya. Natalya slaps her in the face, and Layla gets thrown to Summer Rae. Layla back in the ring, and she ends up getting locked in a sharpshooter, and that's the end of that. It was okay for what it was. I mean, I've seen worse women's matches. I'll probably see worse women's matches tonight, to be honest. No offense to anyone that could be wrestling on Raw tonight, but I'll probably see worse matches tonight. So, we get a promo from Dean Ambrose in the back, and he basically says that he's sick and tired of the mind games, and Bray Wyatt's going to regret what he's done here. He's basically opened up Pandora's box here. Bray attacks him, leaves him laying with his sister Abigail into the wall. Bray makes one warning, says, don't let people label you because that's how they put you in a box. And that box that I'm referring to is obviously the one that's going to be your grave. Casket match between Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose? The first casket match we've seen in forever with someone not The Undertaker? Could happen. You never know. We'll see. Main event time, Kane and Ryback. Okay, Plotting match, short. Let's talk about it midway through because I don't really want to talk about this whole match because I don't care. At one point, Kane ends up grabbing a steel chair after Ryback was basically about to win the match, and he got DQ'd for it. He started wearing him out with a chair. He swings the chair one too many times, gets eaten. Feed me more, right? He eats the spine buster, and Triple H watches in horror as Ryback beats the daylights out of Kane with a steel chair, and that's how we end. I don't want to see Kane wrestle anymore. I mean, I'm okay with Kane, but I mean, I'm done. I'm seriously done. Put gear on him. I don't care what it is. I said before, the Bull Buchanan right to censor look, that'd work for Kane. Get him some gear. I'm tired of seeing him look like the deadbeat dad, the backyarder, just whatever you want to call him. I mean, does not look like... Obviously, you know he's a wrestler. He's a very decorated wrestler. But, I mean, just looking at him without knowing anything about him, he doesn't really come off looking very menacing anymore. The mask obviously made him more menacing. I really hope that they do something to get him to put the mask back on. Or, if anything, I hope that the Authority end up making him into a laughingstock tonight on Raw. And that ends up being slowly tiptoeing towards Kane putting the mask back on as a babyface for his last run in the company. Kane being the savior of WWE as a babyface. I'm not necessarily thinking the savior per se, but a big part of getting rid of the Authority once and for all. If Randy Orton can't do it, legitimately can't do it because he's not able to make it because of prior commitments, let Kane do it. That'd be interesting to see if they do that. But I think Randy Orton should do it, especially because Survivor Series is in his hometown. SmackDown this week, it was all about Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, and Tyson Kidd. That match was phenomenal. Everything else, honestly, you could pretty much skip it. This was just like a very... Yeah, it was just a edition of SmackDown. It wasn't an important edition of SmackDown, it was just a edition of SmackDown. I don't really care about seeing Ryback and Kane wrestling each other. I do like Ryback a lot. I like the babyface Ryback. I think that it works really well, but I mean, I don't want to see him work with Kane. I just don't. I'm sorry, but I just don't. The fact that they gave the Intercontinental title three-way dance almost 20 minutes on broadcast television makes me believe that they really want to push the Intercontinental Championship, given the fact that you don't have a world champion right now because he's not on television, and won't be on television until at least January. Well, I mean, there's rumors that he may come back for like a Raw in December, like a one-off Raw, or to build up to the Royal Rumble, but chances are we're not going to see the WWE Champion until January. We're definitely not going to see him regularly till January. And obviously, there's a lot of wonders what they're going to do with Ziggler. Is this going to be the time that they finally strap the rocket to his back and really do something with him? Because right now, for all intents and purposes, he is the number 2 babyface in the company, without a doubt right now. Like him or hate him, you can't deny the crowd response to Dolph Ziggler. And obviously, I've been a big Ziggler supporter since day one, but the thing about it is a lot of people are not. I understand that completely, but the fans want what they want, and hopefully we'll get some more out of Dolph tonight on Raw. Obviously, I'm big on seeing what they're going to do with The Miz and Damian Sandow. I think they push them as credible contenders for the Tag Team Championships. They continue that tonight, and I think we lead to some sort of a 4-way elimination match at Survivor Series with the 4 tag teams with the tag team titles on the line. Obviously, the other team being Jimmy and Jey Uso, Los Matadores, and the current champions, Goldust and Stardust. I think that's probably where we're going in here. This is obviously the last week of Cinderella. So once this Nikki Bree stuff is over with, and hopefully it ends soon, hopefully we don't hear anything about it, and eventually this just blows away like dust in the wind. So hopefully it does, because I'm really sick and tired of it. A lot of things on Raw that I don't like. A lot of things on SmackDown I really don't like. Not much on NXT I really don't like. And WWE kind of a stagnant place right now as we head into Survivor Series. Then hopefully TLC will be hot, and then hopefully we get into the Royal Rumble, and then we start the road to WrestleMania. So hopefully something good will come out of that. And we get the title off Lesnar down the line, put it on who's going to be the next big thing, and I'm not talking Roman Reigns, talking someone else. I don't know exactly who that would be at this point because they don't really seem intent on pushing anyone. But I'm really curious what they're doing with the mid card right now. It's actually working quite well. Like the mid card to like the upper mid card is actually being showcased rather well. So this was a very limited roster given the fact that they were running a house show that same night in another part of the UK. So they all couldn't be in the same building. So that's the reason why you got a lot of the matches that you got on SmackDown and a lot of the pre-tapes that you would have gotten on Raw and vice versa. But everybody's back to the US tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. So that was NXT and SmackDown this week. Raw will be recapped tomorrow for the channel. Wednesday, the Vlog of Randomness comes your way, and Thursday, we're going to be doing another Sip and Snack video. Friday, of course, kicking AJ's movie reviews, mocking Jay's on that video, not sure what else, and then next weekend, as long as everything lines up, we're going to be watching Whiplash and Birdman in Athens, so that's going to be taken care of. Ashley returns this week with Gaming with Ash, and of course, Sunday will be a brand new Versus, which looking forward to it should be really good. Versus, very popular segment here on Pop, so check that out if you haven't yet. And as always, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet, go to Facebook, click like on our Facebook fan page. I'm updating it now, as you have seen. It is Sir Owen Disney Pop on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Send me a friend request on Facebook at Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, if you'd like to talk wrestling with me, WWE or TNA, Indies, you want to talk about my time in the Indies, we can talk about that if you'd like. Ask me questions, want to ask me basic theme park questions, have ideas for Sip and Snacks, or vlogs of randomness, or Versus ideas. Or if you'd like to become a popcaster yourself, you can send your content to SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.